Hello everyone, welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds. Seen the news as I finished work about the potential of Kalvin Phillips coming back to Leeds United next season. Thought I'd put my thoughts to you guys and get your comments in the section below and let me know what you guys think. But it's come from, I think, Team Talk. There's a few people reporting on it now and a few people put a video out. It's something that I think would have happened last season had we got promoted. It was at the playoff finals, we know. Left very disappointed as thousands of us did. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about this, I won't lie. I've had moments where I've said it past, you know, I'd love him back. I've had other times when I've not been too sure and I'm sort of sat on the fence now. For me, the best way to sum it up is I think it's a better move for Kalvin than it is for Leeds United. I think for Kalvin it's the only move that makes sense. If it doesn't work out at Ipswich, which it doesn't look like it has, I think he's 13 starts there. We know obviously went to City, can't really turn that move down. He's won the treble, whether you think he's played a part in that or not, which he hasn't really, but he's been there, he's picked up silverware he could have only dreamed of picking up if he stayed at Leeds United. His wages trebled, if not more. He's on, I think, about 150 grand a week now. He's going to have to significantly reduce that to come back to Leeds United, probably half it, I would imagine. It's just a difficult one. He hasn't played much football in the 3 seasons he's not been at Leeds. Are we expecting him to come back really and start week in, week out in Premier League? 20 million quid. Apparently he'll get the deal done on City's side of things, but it's a lot of money that. And I know it's Premier League football, all the money you get for going up. It's a hell of a lot of money that though. 20 million, it's a massive dent in your budget for a player where arguably I'd say centre midfield is probably one of our strongest areas. When we go up to Premier League, the quality improves in the opposition. Granted, is our midfield good enough then? Maybe not. Would you look at moving Gruev on? Rothwell's probably going to go back. We're probably not going to make that permanent, I wouldn't think. So then you're left with Ampadu and Tanaka. So you do need depth in that area, I suppose. Is he good enough to start over them two? He's in the mix. A fit Kalvin Phillips, yeah, 100%. Can you get him fit for 3/4 of a season to make that money and that price tag worthy? I'm not too sure. I don't know. I don't think his injury's been too bad this season, but he isn't pulling up trees at Ipswich, which isn't a great thing. He should really. I know Ipswich are, they're struggling this season. They have a few talented players in there to Ipswich, but they are going to come down. So it's hard to maybe show his true worth in that side, but he should stand out really. Kalvin Phillips, he won England's best player once upon a time. I think that'll more the Leeds fans voting for him than that actually being correct. I don't know, he had a really good tournament, didn't he, obviously, for England. He's played in huge games, he's played in Europe, got that experience now, 29 years of age. I know some people are saying bring him home, and it'll be a really romantic transfer. You get promoted and then you announce him as your first transfer. It's a really romantic one, but I think he splits the fan base, as a lot of that Bielsa side did in the last few years. Obviously he left, no one begrudged him that move, like I said earlier. No one, he left on good terms 100% in Kalvin, and I think he left with a heavy heart. It's not, I genuinely feel he thought he was going to be a one club man, but obviously going back down after those couple of years, for me, he just had to move on. I know he stayed up that last season when he were there, but the writing were on the wall really. That season he moved on and it just didn't work out for him at City. He was one of our better players under Marcelo Bielsa. Went to City, he no longer stood out, he struggled. Guardiola, I think, signed him thinking he could improve him, he could step him up to that next level, but he never fit in at City really, did Kalvin. Everything the fans said, City side, a really good guy, wanted the best for him, but he just weren't at that level, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with giving it a go. Fair play to him. Professional football, you've got to back yourself, and he certainly did that. After that he went to West Ham, turbulent time there, swearing at a fan, never really got it back after that. In and out of injuries, his form had dropped. He just weren't loving life in London, which is fair enough. We know he's a home boy, we know he prefers being local. Really close to his nan before she passed away. He's really close to his mum. Really tight-knit family. You know, I personally believe for Kalvin Phillips to get anywhere near the Kalvin Phillips we've seen, you know, him be in the past, it will only happen at Leeds United. It will only happen at Leeds. But does that mean it's right for him to come back for Leeds United? I'm really on the fence. I really am. I think if he comes in, is to replace Rothwell, and then you've got Phillips, Gruev, Tanaka, and Ampadu. They're very defensive minded. Tanaka's probably the most forward thinking of them four. It'd be good depth, he would, but only if he's fit. I always say on my channel, the best ability is availability. Without that, don't matter how good you are if you're not available. If you don't touch that green on a Saturday, you're no good to us, and it's just a massive fee. Say you're looking at, just hypothetically, 75 grand a week. Say half his wages and 20 million. That's a massive amount of money to expect a newly promoted side to fork out. Yeah, we've got it. We have. I just aren't too sure. But yeah, if you're telling me he comes back and he's fit, I think he would play the best football from now till the end of his career. The best football he will play will be at Leeds United if he comes back. That's how he gets back up to some sort of level. I think without Leeds United, he goes from club to club and his career sort of just phases out and he won't pull up many trees. But I think for him, it's the right move for him. Leeds United, I'm really not too sure. I'd love to know what you guys think. Really romantic story. I was gutted when he left. I love Kalvin, I do. I'd like to see him come back for that. I'm a romantic guy. What you're laughing at? I am a romantic guy. I would love to see him come back in that sense. But like I always say as well on my channel, it's not my money either. You know, it's not my money. I can go on about wage, I can go on about transfer budgets, I can go on about all this sort of stuff. It ain't my money. What I will say is I back the 49ers to get all their transfer business right. I trust them, and they've been going for Kalvin for me for 12 months now. They've always had that there. You know, that if we go up, he'll be one of the targets. I trust them to get it right because they haven't got much wrong. So if they think he's worth the punt, like I say, it ain't my money. So I'll be pleased if he does come back, because when I actually look at it like that, I do think the 49ers nail their transfer business just based on what we've seen. So yeah, I'm on the fence, but I wouldn't begrudge it at all. It would be a nice little gesture to fans wanting to bring back one of your own as we sale promotion. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Take care, see you soon. Lose.